it going, everybody? Today we have a special unboxing, alright? The Mirror's Edge Catalyst Xbox One controller. This is a very limited edition controller that they only made 5,000 of these, and they're numbered as well. I had this for a few weeks, and I am planning to use it when I do my Mirror's Edge Catalyst playthrough stream. So this is the controller I will be using when I play that game on PC, and really looking forward to actually seeing how this really looks. So let's get right to unboxing it. Alright, so we have this controller here. Yes, this is an Xbox One controller. Of course, it also works with PC. It actually comes with its own cable. Yeah, see, look, detachable 10-foot cable. So that's actually pretty awesome. Most controllers actually don't come with cables these days. But, you know, micro SDs are pretty standard. We charge most of our Android phones with that, and it's a pretty standard cord. So I know a lot of people are kind of frustrated with the marketing deal going on, because DICE has chosen to partner with Microsoft for the marketing of not only Mirror's Edge but Battlefield 1 as well. And as a result, we have accessories and advertising that basically goes to Microsoft's name. I know a lot of people, especially on like PlayStation, are really frustrated about this because they want a PlayStation 4 controller design like this, and they're basically unable to get one because of the marketing deal going on with DICE and Microsoft, or specifically EA, since they handle the marketing of the game. So it's EA's decision in the end, and DICE just basically has to listen. That being said, it's an attractive controller, and to be honest, I think Mirror's Edge, although I've been using the PlayStation 4 controller a lot, I like the way Mirror's Edge handles with the Xbox One controller better than I do with the PlayStation 4 controller. That's just me personally, alright? So we're gonna get to unboxing this. Let's see. Oh, there's more tape on the side, jeez. I had this sitting in my closet for about 4 weeks. It came in the middle of May, so before the release of Catalyst, and was one of the many things that I pre-ordered along with the game, and just wanted to make sure I got my hands on this. You guys know I've been using the Xbox One, here it is actually, the Lunar White controller. This has been my main Xbox One controller ever since I did the unboxing for it, and in my opinion it is the most attractive Xbox One controller on the market, even more so than the Mirror's Edge Catalyst controller design. I just love the gold contrast with the black here. It's just a really, really, really attractive controller, and you have even grips right here on the side, which was, I believe, the first Xbox One controller to actually add grips. This is a GameStop exclusive one. This one's rare. You can't even buy this brand new anymore, unfortunately. So I'm going to be keeping this controller. Usually what I do is when I buy a new controller, I trade in my old controller because I don't need extra controllers, since I don't really split screen anymore. I'm sitting here in my room on my gaming computer. I don't split screen. It's a lost cause. Anyway, so we have the main stuff here. We have what is this? A quick start guide, Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and PDP is the performance design products. They are the ones who actually, you know, made the controller and manufactured it. And then we pull this out, I guess, and there she is. Wow. And they weren't kidding. Here, first thing we have here is our detachable, look at this, a 10-foot USB, micro USB cable, and wow. This is pretty helpful. I have a ton of micro USB cables, but it's nice to have a really, really long one, and it's brand new, high quality, and everything like this. So this is always nice. I always appreciate it, you know, when controllers actually come with the accessories that they should come with, and this is pretty awesome. All right, then we have the official controller here. Unlatch it right now. See how we get this up. And then we slide it, we lift this, I guess. We lift this and we pull it out. Wow. And there it is. Wow, this is actually much different than it actually looked like in the picture. I thought this was gonna be like very glossy. This is matte. This is not a glossy white at all. My phone rings, of course. Ugh. All right, so you had to excuse me there for a moment. I had to shut my phone up. So it's a very different texture. Oh my god, this texture is very soft. It's very soft, and this one is very, you know, it's the same texture as your standard Xbox 360 controller, but this is a very soft texture. I originally thought that this was going to be like a like the same white color as this, the same, you know, design, or I guess I should say material, the same material. And then I thought the red right here was gonna be like a metallic shiny thing, because if you actually look at the box art, that's what it kind of looks like. It looks like this is like a shiny metallic end, and then this right here is very, the same material as this. But holding it right now, this controller is extremely soft here. It's very much a redesigned controller in a sense. It looks very different than your standard typical Xbox One controller. The thumbsticks are different now. They're pretty good. They're more flat than they are on the standard Xbox One controller. On the Xbox One controller, they sort of dip down. These kind of dip down, but they're still flat. They're really flat, actually. And see how it actually handles. You have your A, B, X, and Y buttons right here. Standard really buttons. Again, these are matte as well. This is not, they're not kind of shiny like this. And the buttons aren't, you know, they don't have like a 3D space kind of like this. I'm actually, this controller's weird. There's like parts of it that I like, and then there's parts of it that I don't like at all. It's actually a little bit odd. On the bottom here, we just have our microphone port, a 3.5mm headphone jack, excuse me, so you can plug in your, you know, your headset or whatever. And then this right here is I believe it's like an audio mute button or something weird like that. If I actually take a look, oh, it is. It's a mute microphone button. All right, so you press this and it mutes the microphone instantly, so that's pretty nice. You also have some multimedia keys here, your volume up and down. The D-pad is a lot. Actually, the D-pad's much improved on this controller than your standard Xbox One controller. If you take a look here, you can actually hear it click. And then it's almost like non-existent on this controller. This is actually, the way this D-pad feels is much more similar to like a PlayStation 4 D-pad, even though the D-pad on that, you know, is better, it's differently designed, but it feels a lot more tactile, and you have like a lot more control over it. The Xbox One button right here, this does light, no, this doesn't light up actually. The Xbox One button doesn't light up, but there's actually a light above it, as you guys can see. Hold on. There's a light right there above it on the Xbox One button, and that lights up. So that's where you have your light, your, you know, options, back, start buttons, and that's pretty much it. Take off the plastic here. Shiny surface for the triggers as well as the shoulder buttons. And the actual triggers have been redesigned. Jeez. This is a very, very different controller. This is a very, very different controller than what we're used to seeing. So the triggers really feel different. You can just see the design changes on them. They're not as, the triggers are not as big as the, I have to take off that USB cable, but here, the trigger is not as big as it is on the standard Xbox One controller, and it's much flatter than it is on the standard Xbox One controller, and so it feels different. It almost feels a little bit better, to be quite honest with you. It just feels, yeah, it feels very, very different. Interesting, but very different. And you know, your USB controllers here, and also the shoulder buttons are feel again different than what they do. This is just a very different controller. This was not what I was expecting. I was expecting something very similar in terms of texture and feel to your standard Xbox One controller. This is different. Jeez, this is very different. Wow. Interesting. It's very interesting. Now, one thing important to note is that we do not have a battery pack with this thing. This thing is a wired only controller. And that being said, this is going to be a huge turnoff for some people, but there's no battery pack, as you guys can see. You usually pop off the back of this and you'd be able to put batteries in. There's none of that on this controller. There's no battery pack whatsoever. As you can see, they are numbered. I got number 2034 out of 5,000. So, got one. got one of those, and pretty freaking interesting. So, wow. I'm surprised. I'm very surprised because this is a very different feeling controller than just what I'm used to. It's softer. It feels a little bit more sleek. It doesn't feel. It feels smoother. The actual just texture feels a lot smoother than just your standard Xbox One controller. Your standard Xbox One controller has a feeling of grip to it. This I feel like it can slip out of my hands and stuff like that. The bottom here is glossy, as you guys can see. And then you have the top here glossy as well. The controller, however, feels noticeably lighter than your standard Xbox One controller, and that's due to not having a battery pack in this thing. That we don't have to get it weighed down by batteries, which actually it actually adds a fair bit of weight. If I held this controller in my hand, I can tell that there's batteries in it versus this controller. This one's very light, very straightforward, and just very different in terms of overall design and structure. I'm surprised. I really am. I don't know if I can say that I'm super satisfied, to be completely honest, because again, I have like a love-hate relationship with this controller. I like the color design of it, and when you look at the picture here, take a look at the picture. The picture almost gives this impression that it's going to be a shiny, glossy surface, especially with the box that they use. Look at that. The picture gives you the impression that the red here is going to be like a shiny, reflective surface with the city with the city in the back, and it's not like that at all. It's just a background slapped on there. It's a standard straight color, and just wow. That's really all I can say. It's gonna take a little bit while to get used to this controller. Maybe I'll do a review on this. I don't even know. It's just very different. I can't imagine, to be honest with you, I'm not sure if I'm even gonna like it enough for it to be my main controller to go to when it comes to PC gaming, or even Xbox One gaming, because you know, a lot of people, a lot of professionals, you know, always don't want to use wireless products because of the delayed latency and stuff like that. But let's be real here. I mean, even though my Xbox One is right next to me, it's no problem to have this plugged in. I think that's why they give you a 10-foot cable. I think that's why did they give you this. That must be the sole reason, is because they're like, well, we don't have a battery pack. We need to give them an extra long USB cable, and so they give us a 10-foot cable. So it makes sense now why they would include this with that. It's just a very different feeling controller, and I'm gonna try and play Mirror's Edge with this controller. Hopefully I'm gonna like it, and it's gonna really help me out well. I think the controller may be designed this way so that we can have, you know, a better experience with Mirror's Edge. Maybe it's the way the thumbsticks are, the way the triggers and the bumpers are designed. Maybe they're designed that way to add for a better sense of control and comfortability when handling Mirror's Edge Catalyst, or something around that nature. So I'm thinking that may be the case, because this is your, you know, standard go-to every single day Xbox One controller. But I'm so used to how this feels and everything like that it's just odd to pick up something like this, which feels very cheap in comparison, but just very different overall. And so I don't know. I'm gonna enjoy playing Mirror's Edge Catalyst with this controller. Hopefully, I'm gonna end up really liking this. Maybe I'll just, you know, eat my own words. Maybe when I play the game, and I'll be like, oh my god, this is actually, thank God I have this controller. I have so much more control. Or it's just feels really nicely, or it really helps make a difference for this game. Having this controller really helps make a difference. So I don't know. All I know is that I'm a big fan of Mirror's Edge, and when I saw this controller, I thought, I knew it was like an instant purchase, and I guess we'll find out whether it's going to be like my go-to controller, whether the design changes are really going to make a difference, or I'm just going to fall back to this one. I have a feeling I'm going to fall back to this one, but hey, let's keep an open mind. For the time being, at least for my Mirror's Edge Catalyst playthrough stream, I will be using this controller, and should be pretty fun, should be interesting, and looking forward to it, alright? So that is my unboxing of the Mirror's Edge Catalyst Xbox One controller. Very, very interesting controller, limited edition, as you guys can see. There's only 5,000 of these made, and really happy to get the game, to get that accessory. Looking forward to playing the game, of course, this weekend, and I will see you guys hopefully for my Mirror's Edge Catalyst playthrough stream. Thank you guys for watching, and I really appreciate it.